What's going on, y'all? It's Jay Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Leading off the top of the week with a singular battle review. It's been a long time since I've done this. I want to get back into just whatever drops in the app, maybe taking a battle that hasn't been talked about as much, or a battle of just some level of importance, and just doing a classic, bar for bar, sit down, 3-round review for it. And I thought a good time to start back on it would be Fonz versus Nitty. Happened on Civil War 3 and was aired Saturday, along with the JC versus Miss Hustle Lightwork battle, which had a very interesting result. JC getting cleared in the fashion that he did by Miss Hustle. Humongous Bodie and Cody implications. A lot of things maybe to talk about on that I would rather talk about in spaces. Lightwork wouldn't get a whole video. But regardless, right here, we're going to start off by recapping Fonz versus Nitty. Absolute punch fest. A battle that I had predicted as a 30 going in for Nitty, but as the battle went on, Fonz, who had scared me with not having debatables with top tiers, with all the points that I had given before, really shook that. I believe that he had here a close battle. I called it debatable in the building and edged it to run 2-1 in the building. But now I have the chance to go back, review the notes, review the tape, and really break down bar for bar and give a proper review going over the intricacies of each of their performance and where I think one might have outdid the other and the small capacities that don't get talked about. So without further ado, we're just going to start at the top of Fonz's first round. So starting off with Fonz's first, he immediately has like an opening concept about Smack saw how I handled the booze versus Danny, crowd booing him, booze, and then gave me rum. Even though he didn't say it, kind of let the crowd finish it. But a cool opener, and then a used car salesman. I let this lemon off a lot. A lot of this video is going to be me going over punches and giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down on it. It's going to be a lot more thumbs up, but when you judge a battle like this, that is part of it. Just line for line. You don't have to go into approaches as much, even though we will as the battle goes on. Some extra parts, but used car salesman, let this lemon off a lot. Haymaker, in my opinion, dope bar. Is start I'm gonna butcher the setup, but it start with the handle, ends with the grip. It's like a moped. The moped bar, definitely dope. And then another haymaker that he lands, the alien gonna sleep on his feet. He a cone head. That was crazy. So as you look at the start of Fonz's round, you look at the cone head and the lemon off a lot bar. I think are high quality punches, extremely creative. So he starts off great, and then he gets in this trap talk area. We was moving them bows like Glorilla and Cardi B in the Tomorrow video. This is a whole few drug references in there where they're not, after landing big punching haymakers, kind of to slow it down. A little bit of a miss with the Glorilla bar, a little overperformed, kind of overdone in my opinion. And then you get there's like a slight dry spot there in the first, but then you get right back to your family's gonna have to ration it out. Crazy. Everybody in that nut house is getting patted down. I like that too. Fonz's first is really good. Obviously, like I said, there's that little middle dry spot. The softball pitch bar makes someone a softball, adjust his pitch. Crazy. And then you get into the part here towards the end where it's definitely decent bars, but I think this is the difference between Rum's first and Fonz's first. You see the difference between a punch and a Hulk smash. I know how to land a punch. It's dope. This bum in front of this bum, why would I spare a quarter? Spare a quarter. Like, it's a dope bar, you know what I'm saying? But it's just jabbing in a bout that's, going to be haymakers. And then he has the I'll kill Rum and Poet that's on the dead homies, which was dope. So overall, a dope first by Fonz. I definitely think it's a 7, maybe 8 out of 10 rounds. So there's not a lot you could take off. But then you get into Nitty's first, which we all know is Nitty's best round of this battle. For those that haven't seen it, very, very good. Highlight Nitty round. Fonz a dead man. This little boy Fonz a dead man. Like from the start, like Boys in the Hood, crazy opener. He had the landlord living scheme. And one thing to note about Nitty this whole battle, scheming. I mean, the layers to his writing now. Always been a layered writer, extremely creative with his concepts. But we're gonna go into it more in the second and third. But a lot of just layered writing. Tons of more schemes here than we've really ever seen from Nitty. Your believability lessens after every bar, lessons after every bar, steps down, but also lessons after every bar. So that's why it's easy for me to block it. So cool little flip there. Thought he could have done better with Fonz's slogan, but DeFonz, like a dictionary, and I'll get DeFonz everything in it. That was crazy. Obviously leads up into the screenshot haymaker. I hold the power and the volume like a screenshot. Disgusting. The Monopoly scheme, bringing back the Monopoly. The rapid fire punching he does here. We get it kicking in the lobby. Kareem Hunt try to punch with the hole in him. Capri Sun have another one of them episodes. It's a rerun. Really, this is high-level Nitty. And then by the time you get to the Mai Tai Haymaker and the Indiana Jones bar, this round is already clear. T.I., you can tell when he's dead. Everything missed. It's like he think I can't shoot. Just a classic Rum Nitty first. And Rum Nitty was up 1-0 clear after the first round. So after the first, which I zipped through a lot of those bars, but, I didn't want to say too many of the setups. I feel like not everyone's seen the battle fully yet if you haven't caught it on caffeine, or, watch the reruns at the other battler stream, But the second round, as we all know, the first was clear, but the second is what this battle pretty much comes down to for a lot of people. We're not, we'll get into the third when we get there, but Fonz starts out with the pause if necessary bar. You slap his ass and give him the pause necessary, which is it was okay. It's clever wordplay. I think the concept was a little bit funny. Obviously, shoot with muscle memory, no emotion, no emotion, which I thought was definitely one of those clever little bars. But here's the thing about Fonz's second compared to Nitty's second, that I think this is a very, very close round. But for me, Fonz actually beats Nitty on punch count. You look at the stool sample bar he has afterwards, the Arizona on a tee, when he's not landing the haymakers like his surgeon bar. He's got the liquor scheme, the Mamba mentality, the work shift. As soon as I clocked in, everything shifted. The body in the trunk, despair. And he's jabbing. I mean, Fonz is jabbing his ass off for the first half of this second. But I will say specifically, while he beats him in count, also kind of beats him in time too. He wraps 8 minutes to Nitty 6, which is not something that I take points off or whatever for, but he has this extra time, but there's not a lot of bombs in there. It's decent content. I like them in that Mamba mentality, Geechee Gotti, clutch in the fourth. I thought that was decent. Thought the work shift bar was okay. The stool sample bar, not exactly the biggest fan of. That's the point, is between that muscle memory bar in the beginning, and then the surgeon bar, there's a lot of that space until he hits about the second half of his second, because at that point, even from in the building, I'm like, I don't know, he's definitely jabbing, but when are we going to get to the bombs? And the second half of his second is really one of the best stretches of Fonz's career, in my opinion. This ain't pop up with 130 like I ain't pay my app subscription. Fire. While we come through with sweepers, Cuz Webb in this bitch. One of the best Nitty name flips out of, that I personally have heard. That was incredible. Have a baby by Cuz, like a Targaryen, and he'll be in cesspools. Which was cool. I definitely thought that the inset, was a little what, but we're talking about the Cuz Web bar. We're talking about the app paid subscription bar. And then my personal favorite bar of his third. When he goes in that introspective kind of real talk back, talk about his nephew dying and said, my sister came in with looking like Shanae. I could see the pain in her face. Good God, man. That is incredible. So to land that clip of like hit 3 out of your 4 last bars as a haymaker, little seafood scheme at the end, but that second half is what people are looking for. And when you get into Nitty's round, he has the Nate impersonating, Nate Av's name, which was decent. The K9 unit bar, the Fonz drugs, I thought that was dope. And then you get into the base middle part of Nitty's round, and I think very similar to the end of Fonz's second, Nitty has this run kind of in the earlier half of his second. The tie scheme, which we've heard wins are not bars, but the pull through everything leading up, and then into the fabric scheme, what nobody lending you a hand when nylon you up. Just crazy. The layered writing, as layered as you're really going to get for a Nitty battle. And I think in 2022, he, as a pen, not just as a puncher, but as a pure pen, he's really stepped the notch up to a different level, and he's delivering with poise. Great performance. You ain't know it was Ty, did you? The Draymond J.R. Smith concept, crazy. The asbestos bar, the hentai bar, Tide yourself with the Air Mags. I thought that was crazy. It's either going to be Mon or Tides, and I'm trying to have you eating through a tube. So you have this, this clip in the middle when you look at the fabric scheme. the tie scheme, in my opinion, which was really crazy. You get to the before the shot, after the shot, Draymond, JR, you ain't know it was tied, did you? The asbestos bar, and then the little witty lines that Nitty gives you, like the hentai bar, like the Air Mags bar. It's just crazy, the hentai bar. It sounds absurd that I'm saying that out loud. The coordinate bar, and even the juice scheme at the end. So scheming, really layered writing. I think, as I said, Fonz beats him, and just if we counted out the punches, which is a battle where people do like to judge it like that. So if we count out the punches, Fonz probably outpunched him, which is a pretty incredible thing to say out loud. But I will say that from Nitty's front to back of his round, I just think there's more consistency. And if you look at the peaks, I think the layered writing for me, when you get to the tie scheme into the fabric scheme. Let's say you've heard the Windsor knot bar, the pull through. I don't think you've heard it in that concept. And then straight into another piece of layered writing that connects. Like, I feel like there's just more cohesiveness to his round, while I feel like there's kind of a night and day difference between the first half of Fonz's round and the second half of Fonz's round. But Fonz's second peaks at an all-time level. If you're a Fonz fan, there's a reason that Fonz fans are edging him at this second. To me, I won't call it clear, because I don't believe that would be the respectful thing to do. But I, comfortably edged Nitty the second round in this, just because of the cohesiveness in this round, and just a little bit of a difference, I believe, in the polishedness of the pen and the performance. And I think that's two things to me, which usually Nitty has gotten beat on for most of his career, and you would never give him that. It's Nitty's usually the one that you'd consider to be getting outperformed in a battle, or there might not be that polish, or there is some pen heavy, like in the beat-up battle, that just seem a little bit more polished in the writing, JC, some people would say. And I just feel like in this battle, this is him finally growing and having those two capabilities at an elite level, and kind of showing a guy who's coming up as an amazing puncher who hasn't fully polished that yet. So due to not just the content, which I think is really, really close, but I think more so the other aspects of battle rap that go outside in this, the consistency, the conciseness of your performance, your delivery, and being the most efficient with your time in the round. Those are all reasons that I edge Rum Nitty the second. So close round, you know what I'm saying? And this is an incredible Fonz performance, as we'll get into more into the third. But that's my more elongated explanation on the most debatable round of this battle, and why I had Nitty 2-0 going into the third round. And with that being said, a little bit of a longer piece in the second, but that is what the battle comes down to, so I wanted to do my due diligence with that round. But into the third round, we go back onto Fonz, and Fonz has a monetized rebuttal to Nitty's monetized bar. I had a clip on it, which was, decent. But from there, he gets into a really creative, a bag that Fonz has that I think kind of showed a level here to Nitty in a way, where after he gets through the George Washington Wiggin on a quarter, which I thought was fire, he gets into an angle. He gets into the Rum getting blackballed by URL, not making SM, and it would incite a riot. But instead of SM, he came back. His first battle was inside a riot, Geechee's league. I like the way he broke that down, a little bit of comedy to it, but he kind of works that angle for the whole round. And usually he's known for angle punching, but I think Fonz shows the ability in here to actually work an angle, like just angle, not really rely on the humongous haymakers until maybe the end of the bar, but just really talk to someone. So I thought that was definitely a layer to his game that I hadn't seen done quite to that level yet, let alone in a battle this big that could go really, people just want to see you do sometimes, once you get your big plates, what you do at your highest level in a much more different way. I think JC and Surf, people just want to see JC bar out, took angles. You know what I'm saying? So it's a recent example. You get to a milestone plate, take an angle, it can be risky, but I think he made the most of it. The UFO bar in there is pretty okay. He has the more than anything, the NFL fake kicks. We would have made you run those fake kicks. I thought that was crazy, even though the Nitty shoe angle had been done a lot. Usually bars don't land on it. That one was a haymaker, definitely a creative play on it. Also, the Nick Cage scheme, I'm going to take his face off. They're going to hate what I did to Con Air, especially with Conceited right there. I thought that really makes that come together. Before Geechee, Rum ain't cost too much. It was happy hour. A little bit of comedy working the angle there. Even though Fonz, the second half of his second is his best clip of the battle, I think the third cohesively is his best front-to-back round of the battle. Not really many dry spots to talk about in any way, and very versatile. And as for Nitty's third, it's definitely solid. He's kind of running through his delivery, it seems like, a little bit in the third, which is something that can kind of kill Nitty on the rapid punch side. People like when he goes back to it, but sometimes he can rap so fast, it almost feels like his rounds are 230 flat in the building, although this wasn't that. But he is the Wick check bar, decent. The Christmas Story lamp bar was dope. I have heard Ill Will say that to Calico, and kind of a well-known haymaker, so not a bite, but OBC that definitely affects my view of that. The next dude I punched on never landed again. Chris Childs. That didn't really get a lot of reaction in the building, but I remember even, from my little post where I was, I thought that was crazy in the building. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, as always, man. Crazy flip of that. Switch to the Guardian, like the Cleveland Indians, talking about the Cleveland logos was definitely dope. The landlord mess up his roof. The landlord's gonna need some super help. Thought that was decent. The intern bar I thought was really good. He hits a little bit of a clip here at the end. All that little bit of work ain't gonna equal to nothing like an intern. Take off a head in the cabinet like Big Worm, and then probably his best bar, the third. This bird got out of hand. I drew a turkey. So I thought that was fire. Nitty's going really, really rapid through his delivery here, but as per usual, his third content-wise is stellar. Really brought you stellar content all 3 rounds. Both of these gentlemen did. But while I think it was close than I remember, I gave Fonz the third, clear, and I still comfortably edge him this third. I think Nitty's content, of course, in the playback obviously hits a little better, especially with, as I mentioned this whole video, how layered he's been writing. But I do appreciate the approaches Fonz took. I think that he probably matched those high points there with the haymakers. I love the little Nick Cage scheme, specifically with the Con Air reference, and I thought the NFL fake kicks bar was the bar of the round. So I comfortably edge Fonz the third, giving him the third, and having this battle 2-1 Rum Nitty. And that is my full analysis of Fonz versus Rum Nitty. And, as I said, I gave Nitty the first clear, I gave Fonz the third comfortably, and I gave the second to Rum Nitty. Overall, I thought this was a really, really great battle. There was a lot of talk coming out of the building. Some people were calling it a classic. Now, me personally, I think it's a really, really good battle. I don't think it's classic. I think it's probably just a step outside of there. Do I think it's one of the better battles of this year? Yes. I think that we've only gotten one true, genuine instant classic this year with Rum Nitty and A-Ward. I think that that's a fair amount of people would agree with me on that. We've had other good battles. I think Tay-Rock versus Vixen was a very high-quality, good battle. You get a battle like this, Nitty and Fonz, I think is just a high-quality, good battle. I was in the minority. People said it didn't age that way, but I thought Chaos versus Sheed was like a really good battle. But the point is that I don't think that this is, instant classic battle of the year, but I do think it's probably in that top 5 conversation of 5 of the best battles we've seen this year. And shout out to Fonz more than anything. I gave Fonz a little bit of a hard time, when they come up to this. I thought, as I've said, the track record with punchers, the track record with top tiers, track record with stages, really, I was worried about him. But especially after going down a dominant 1-0, he seized the moment, was able to make this battle that many, many people have him winning. And that's really what the game is all about. I mean, we're talking about a high-quality, debatable battle with one of the best battle rappers alive right now. This is how you climb the ladder. No one expected this. People would have been like, oh, we're just happy if Fonz got around. All those people saying it. And he did more than was asked and was able to make this an extremely competitive battle. And he called out John, O-Red, and Chess. I would love to see all 3 of those battles. Literally book them anytime. O-Red specifically in a volume, but give him John or Chess whenever. I'm ready to see Av run the top-tier gauntlet in 2023. Would like him to take 4 to 5 top-tier opponents and really start building that resume. Gnome appearances, SM appearances. He's officially opened the door to that club. And just really proud to see a talent seize the moment in a big-time, situation like that. Even after the delay, puts you maybe in a less comfortable environment, and you bring possibly the best performance of your career. And as for Rum Nitty, I mean, this is also, the great part about a battle like this is it's a net positive result for both. And we know that Rum Nitty's having, just an incredible year. Cody will be coming up. There's so many different candidates, and it's not something that I'm going to go word for mouth and throw out my picks here right now. Obviously, for anyone that wants to check, first 9 months of the year, I did a Cody tracker, my little top 10 power rankings. If you want to check that on my Twitter down in the description, just to get an idea of where my head is at, if you want to know in terms of Cody up to this point. But incredible performance from both. And going into 2023, I've seen Nitty. Verb has called out Nitty. Murda Mook has called out Nitty. So hopefully next year we get 2 or 3 God tier plates for Nitty. I think he's had good comp this year, but I think next year should hopefully really be a legacy year where he's back on the Gnomes and SMs. Conceited talking about coming outside. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Rum Nitty versus Conceited as SM, probably a SM headliner? I think that would definitely appease the fans. So great result for both. Very happy that they were able to show out for this battle, and just salute to both of these gentlemen, man. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Let me know what other battles you would like to do as single battle reviews, possibly from the Civil War card or the volume card. Just let me know, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.